Go, Daddy.
It's safe to say that was a grind through 3 and a bit quarters, but what were you most pleased about with that result?
Finding 5 guys that would play together and play hard. And I think that came late in the game. If there was one good element to it, it was that, and that was, as a coaching staff, we sat in and talked about it at halftime. Had a conversation with the team that addressed the first half, and then got together and said, we just move it around just a touch, and let's find 5 guys and go with it. And a few of them, to be truthful, I didn't want to do that with J.A. tonight. I didn't think he was going to have to do that tonight. But I don't remember feeling like this after a win in a long time. A little bit of emotion of somebody's going to fall out of this, and you lose a game like this. You can't take this back. And so there's a sense of relief and a sense of excitement. The game finished in the last 5 minutes, getting stops, getting some good spacing, and a guy making plays. But where we're trying to go from when we started this with this group moving forward, it was a real kick in the guts tonight. I just really disappointed.
So what was, that flip side as you just talked about, what was the most disappointing aspect of what you saw from your players out there tonight?
Thought the guys played like they were entitled. That no energy, no effort, got beat on the glass, late on the rotations, walking down, not 5 guys getting back on defense. You come into these press conferences, you got the truth. Everyone was out there seeing there was a lot to be excited about, that we got this win and we've got a break coming up. And but it's been a struggle. And we're trying to find our way, and I thought we made some movement over these last couple. Even we won tonight, and like I am tonight. We lost against Melbourne, and I was pumped. I knew some good stuff's coming, and then I was really excited how we went about. We didn't play beautiful on the offensive end, but the grind, the grit, the toughness was there, and I liked where we went to get that win. And so this one, was a punch in the face. You just stand on the sideline, and it's like, wow, we're the talking on defense, getting back on defense, pressure on the ball, cutting, ball movement. So we've got a new group of guys. We got a lot of young guys in the group. We're bringing J.A. back into this, and you can see we're playing a lot more pick and roll. The style of it's different, but we've been talking about the travel, it's time now. And tonight, I just want to, I'm not going to come out and say, oh, I'm jumping out of my skin. This was fantastic. But again, here, we had some guys that really dug deep. And when you walk in that locker room, a guy like Jay is laying flat on his back with the load that he carried. So I'm still excited, but and if all of this, the playing hard, playing together, I think it falls on the coach. It falls on me. That's what I was brought here to do. It's my job, and that's why I'm being hard on analyzing this. It's not what it should be.
Is it down to the thing about you, as long as I've known you, the one thing that's an absolute non-negotiable is maximum effort? Is that pretty much, is that the baseline you're looking for with this group right now?
100%, 100%. It started, and I think a coach coming in, and again, I went off a little bit tonight, but coming in and slamming the backboard, you can't do that too often. It's what the definition of what playing hard is. And, we have a few keys, in 2 minutes into that game, we're down, I look up, I think it was 17-6 or whatever, and I'm looking and I'm going, God, all of those indicators are off. And then it was a quick timeout, and it was a juggling act until the last 5 minutes. But as we move forward, tomorrow's going to be a lot better day with a win under your belt, and you do this. I can't believe how fortunate we are that we got that win, and it was a big one because they're, we'll talk about them. They've been on a winning streak. They got a new coach. They're playing with energy. They got guys coming back that wanted to make a statement here. So they had a lot of things rolling for them coming into this game. So to pull that one out, and I'm excited about a few of the guys down that. A few guys really stepped up in that last 5 minutes.
Ron, you said you didn't necessarily want to play Jalen for the 32-plus minutes that he played today, but at the end, he was smiling. I can't remember him smiling for a while because of the back injury. He even had the little shimmy and shake after an important bucket. Ultimately, do you think that maybe it was good to give Jalen that many minutes?
When I say the minutes, it's not so much the minutes, it's how we rode him.
Okay.
I just thought we had to play off him with the ball in his hand, because we couldn't get through or do anything or move the ball at all. So we haven't been much of a pick and roll team. And tonight, virtually, the last 7 minutes, I called a timeout, and that's all we ran. And we put the ball in his hand or Xavier's, but it was Xavier coming back to him and 3 guys planted on the baseline to get that thing done. So we rode him real hard on this. But I also feel like with J.A. coming back to this group that he's, after last season, he's excited about his teammates and is really excited about what this could be, and is excited to be here, and thinks that the group can do something really special. So he's in a really good place mentally, and you can see he's not far off it physically. He's coming.
And Cam Oliver's never had a scoreless NBL game in his 67-game career. I think it was fewest minutes in his career tonight as well. Is there something going on there? If it's personal stuff, we'll leave it, but I'll go over.
Nothing personal. Again, like I said, I just have, with all of them, put some guidelines that need to get done to play. And tonight, and it wasn't just him, but if those aren't met, it's time that I take the reins here, and this and this has to be done, or you're over there. And I'm not talking about Cam Oliver. I'm talking about as a group, and a lot of them I sat on tonight. Like I said, and he was one of them.
So far, how has Cam responded to those conversations, and you being completely fine with shortening that leash, because we don't see that much with coaches and imports?
The conversations have been good and straightforward, and I was real pleased with, we've had a few in the last conversation we had, and again, the games leading into this one, since the conversation in practice, I was real excited about. And again, I don't know what took place. I only go by what I see, and I'm not even looking at the guy or the person. It's, if somebody doesn't cross the half-court line on defensive transition, and tonight we held them to 69 points. We held last week to 60. These things that I'm on about, that I'm not allowing to happen, are important, and it doesn't matter who it is. And it wasn't just him tonight, but he was one of the parties that wasn't doing what needed to be done to stay on the floor.
Well, when you hear your coach say that you guys played entitled for a period of time, and the first 3 quarters weren't great from you guys, how do you guys as a playing group respond to that?
I would take accountability. So that's on us. We played hard for 1 quarter. And so that first 3 quarters, I don't think we showed up, so I don't blame him for saying that.
Do you get some enjoyment out of the fact that the way you guys won this was by locking in defensively, and you were a significant part of that?
I mean, our whole team is a selfless team, so I think coach has done it the whole season. Like, this is nothing new. He always finds that group that's playing well, and he sticks with it.
Coach raised a good point though. 60 points last week, 69 today. I know it might feel like a loss in some respects, but defensively, you're a good man to comment on the team's defence. What's working over those last couple of games defensively for the Kings?
We're figuring it out. I think it's just us committing to what Coach wants us to do. And tonight he found that group and he stuck with it.
Gorge, what are your concern levels that you haven't been able to really lock in on combinations there? It still feels like you're figuring it out.
Well, I mean, I feel good about where Jalen being healthy, because that piece does, you know, a lot more Tyler, a lot more Bruce, Zay playing. You know, this is going to be how we're going to play. And now I feel like we've moved to a group of 8.5 leading into this game. And I'm hoping this one was out of the box. But I feel like until tonight, we're figuring it out. And this defensive package that you talked about, the winning's in the picking. And I had a blank roster virtually to choose from. And, you know, I thought this thing from last year coming to this year needed some nastiness, needed some toughness, needed, you know, what's missing, what was the problem last year. So when I walk in that locker room, I'm expecting that side of it. Now the other side of it, ball movement, out of sync. He's not there on offense. No, we'll get there. But those other things are non-negotiable in my group. I feel the group that we have is elite in that area, and I don't think we've scratched the surface yet.
7-5 now. Am I right in thinking you've got one more game before the FIBA
Correct.
break, and it's in the Gong against
Yeah.
Illawarra, who beat you here. Despite tonight, you wake up tomorrow at 7-5 with one game before the break. Talk to us about the prospect of playing Illawarra next Saturday night.
Real excited about that. Really excited about that, and the prospect of, I think, like Bull said, I think if I hadn't gone there tonight, I'm weak. The players know, and I think it's a motivator to finish on a strong note in the areas that we're being critical of in this conference right now. And I've got, which we haven't had, I've got a week that, you know, to look at game tape, to go through what took place. We haven't had a lot of that. So I've got a week now, no excuses to go down there, and I'm really excited about it. It's a great basketball team. They've got a great environment going on now, and then we've got a break from that. And this win gives us a little bit of, we're going to finish that break in this thing with a real chance. And like I said, I've said to the guys, somebody is going to drop out of this 6 that is that to me, you could have a number 7 on this thing, and you look at it and have a potential of winning this thing. There's, you know, you look at Adelaide, you look at all these teams, and you go, God, man, they could win the championship. And one of those teams is going to be in that 7th spot. And, you know, that, as well as trying to finish in the top 2, is on the horizon tonight if you dump another one at home. So, again, another feeling as I walked off the court pumping my fist. It wasn't about how we played. It was a relief that, you know, next week matters.
Anyone on the Zoom? Thank you, boys.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Jason.